Yay.
I just denied that invite.
It's probably just a glitch.
The page
Okay, I'll keep eyes peeled on it to make sure that it's just not like staff's just like
I'm not gonna bother refreshing.
short right now.
Did they post anything like on Twitter or anything stating that, hey, we're gonna delay it, or?
No, the website's breaking right now too.
No.
Be careful.
Yeah, I saw that.
I just got another invite to event viewing.
Yeah, but I'm doing that at the opening ceremony.
The schedule sheet
Lobby.
online.
Not me.
Event viewing.
Shenanigans.
See, their Twitch is still
God, I'm
playing.
drowning.
I wonder if this is not the opening ceremony.
Oh no, Flygon drowning. What will he do?
Yeah, event viewing.
Oh God, no, God, no, please. I want to at least get into the Scarlet Violet meta.
Event viewing. What the hell?
Refresh.
It does for me. Just refresh.
Oh, trying to go to the opening ceremonies. I don't know what's going on.
And our party will only go to the. Our party interface only sends us to the club as well.
But then also, like, it's been removed from the timetable as well.
Oh, the website's having a heart attack.
Oh.
Yeah, they probably just delayed it again.
Yeah, let me check the website. Schedule.
There was an error logging you in. Oh shit.
Yeah,
oh dear.
website's gone.
Ben's working hard to deliver your experience. Hang tight. No.
What's going on? Overloaded the website.
Ah.
Because everyone's so confused, everyone went straight to the website to refresh.
And it's stuck. Yeah.
Yikes.
Thanks for the follow, THETWINS.
What's up?
Well, Ben.
The website has been loading very
Get rid of that one.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I got put into the new world, but then after that, they sent me an invite to this event thing.
Why is this place so stupidly fucking bright?
I don't know why.
This is a weird, like, glowing.
Someone cranked the fucking missions max. Fuck. It's hurting my eyes.
Pretty bright here.
Thanks for liking the stream, Anna True Idiot.
is working hard to deliver your experience. Hang tight.
And wow, those trees really suck. I mean, I know they're not the
Thanks
focus
for liking the
of
stream,
the
Anna
room.
True Idiot.
I'm not sure what we're supposed to do here.
Okay, so if you fall, there's no respawn barrier. Y'all be careful.
There's no respawn if you fall.
I'm not even sure this is the world that we're supposed to be in.
I don't know.
I don't know. They've been sending people off to event rooms and to what was it?
Yeah, I got an invite to
Club
like every different room type.
Yeah, I got invites for Club Finn and this event viewing room at the same time.
They did open up a new world I was just in, but I feel like I made a mistake of leaving it.
Yeah, I did that too.
I even left the club. Now I can't get back in.
What is going on?
Yeah. No, they had a new lobby world opened up, but now it's not. Now I can't get back in it.
Let me look at that. Oh, well. Okay, so I see opening ceremonies.
Yeah, see, they sent me another thing for event viewing.
It just says starting soon, but you can't click on it.
Hi, I'm a hacker.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna keep delaying it again until whatever the heck is happening stops happening.
Yeah, I don't know why I expected anything different. I mean, that's always happens.
Oh, never mind. I guess it's just happening.
Maybe.
The stream's doing something.
Oh yeah.
They started it.
I guess Finn is gonna play Donkey Kong or something.
Can they make this like an actual game? I would play it though.
I'm a caker.
It's giving me some Freddy in space mixed with Mario vibes.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm a hacker.
There's
Thanks for
one.
liking the stream,
Jesus.
Sugar Cookie.
Two.
Hey Red, what are you doing?
Jesus Christ, dude.
Thanks for liking the stream, Mason.
Hey, I stole my colors.
Thanks for the follow, Mason. Coco. Thanks for the follow, Sugar Cookie. Thanks for liking the stream, Luisama.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they were
Lol.
giving that to people that were just like sitting around waiting.
What? That was it? Okay.
I doubt that was it.
Are they gonna make that an actual game? Because I want to play it.
I doubt it.
Let's see, I think I got it.
Their website crashed. Oh no.
Again.
Yeah, their website crashed. There's an error host from poop.fit guy.
You're sounding kind of crunchy.
Hi.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
Um,
Oh, it's better now.
I'm Hawking 321.
Yeah, I couldn't invite you were like earlier. The website was down too. I was trying
Oh,
to
that's not-
reload.
No? That's it.
All attendees simultaneously refreshing.
Yeah, that's gotta be a strange.
Wow.
Thanks for the follow, Premium.
Oh my god. He wanted to order.
He wanted chicken nuggets. She wanted
chicken
nuggets.
That'd be freaking perfect. Is this starting? I don't know if I'm stupid.
No, not yet.
Is it
I'm
just
just
like
like
a-
hive mind. We are all one.
it's in like a.
With whatever's going on with your,
Go, you
your
break
voice
that
right
mouth.
now, that line was very fitting.
Gateway error.
My voice.
Thanks for liking the stream, Premium.
Yeah, it's doing something crunchy.
Boop.
Yeah, that's
The bit rate over.
Yeah, this this happens.
Work related for sure.
Oh, okay.
Or it could be on my end, as far as I know.
They,
Who knows? It could be as well.
Probably.
they have an issue, and so this is supposed to be the opening ceremonies. The main event that's supposed to happen.
1 2 buckle my shoe 3 4 buckle some more 5 6 Nike kicks oh that's so.
And apparently there has some technical issues.
I'm done. I'm done. I want to play you.
What's boop.fin.ai?
Sit your ass down.
I don't know where we saw that. I was typing.
I want a toy plane and a snow globe. Oh my fucking god.
Thanks for liking the stream premium.
Oh my
Thanks for
god.
the follow Caleb Hyatt.
I will commit a hate crime against you.
Thanks for liking the stream premium.
Boop.
Nothing.
That might be their login handler.
I would know. No, you wouldn't. I would.
With the absolute lunacy going on with the site right now, I wouldn't doubt it.
Baby man.
Oh yeah, I see it now. On the back gateway.
Baby man.
Look at the website.
That's weird, dude. That's so
Yes and no, it's trying.
Welcome into
Pixels.
Furality.
Oh my god.
It's so great to be here with you all.
Hey, you made it.
My name's Kip Kingdom.
I know
I'm your
now.
lead ambassador, and it is our pleasure to have you
Actually,
all here.
your website
Let's
worked for
go,
a sec
everyone.
to
We're
go to
having
the-
a blast with Furality Silva. What? We're already going. Everything's going crazy. It's so great. I had the wonderful chance to come down to our convention first timers meetup, and I met so many wonderful people out there. You know who you are. I saw you all. We were chatting it up. Let's go. But
Real or
I also
fake?
did have the chance to meet a lot of you veterans out here, and all of you were telling me where to be, where to go. You were helping out so many of our new members to our community, and I can't thank you enough for that. You really helped me know. You filled up my schedule so quickly. But it's been absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to see you all here and experience it with you guys, alright? But speaking of veterans, we have our one and only beautiful one. Let's get in here. I don't have to introduce you. Get in here.
Hello, everyone! Hi, I am Biscuit Fister. I am also one of the Furality ambassadors, and I really want to extend a super heartfelt welcome to Furality Silva.
H3LP.
An absolutely beautiful, beautiful con. I've been working at Furality for, oh lord, since Furality Luma, and I can tell you, it has been an absolute blast and absolutely beautiful every time we just knock it out of the park, I swear. But I can't wait to see y'all out there. I was already running around yesterday, saw a bunch of beautiful, beautiful avatars, beautiful clothing creations, like, I mean, ayo. Oh my god, make sure to donate. Kippy.
Yeah, I'm here. Yes, absolutely. I've seen so many beautiful outfits. You guys went crazy with it this year. Whoa!
Oh my god.
I've seen so many of you using our Patreon assets too, and oh, wow, that's incredible. I've seen you using them in creative ways. I've seen our scarves turn into headbands.
They just have way too much energy.
Let's go, right? Brimstone, Mr. Director, get over here.
Hey everyone, this is Brimstone, your programming director for Furality. Have a wonderful time this weekend. Go meet some new friends. Check out the meetups. Big thing, we have the community showcase tomorrow on Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Showcase!
Let's go! A lot of creators who are super hard on it. Please come and show your support for them, okay?
Come on, let's see it. Brimmy, lead the way. We gotta see where to go. Where are we going?
This way, guys. This way.
Timmy, this way.
Oh, please. What the? Oh, I'm gonna count down.
Bad. What is happening?
I'm waiting for the the timer, I guess.
Are you real?
Am I real? Yeah, of course I'm real.
Oh.
Now this is the new lobby. It's all like these treehouse things and all these trees.
Today is my papa's birthday.
Oh. Happy birthday. So this world is pretty large. There's a lot to it. And there's some little houses you
Hey
can
there, I'm
drop down
Dolly,
to.
Chairman and Creative Director of Furality. It was 34 years ago that the people of Silva set out to find a better place to live. We discovered the island of Silva and left the realities of the world to
I'm
build
on
a
the
better
left of you.
home for our people. Since then, we have nourished a vibrant community
Wow.
and created a safe and comfortable place for all of us to belong. In this rainforest,
Look.
we've made great friends with the aviosaurs and happily coexist and enjoy their company. We're here today to celebrate our
No,
accomplishments.
I don't see anybody
and honor
waving.
This place of hope, friendship, and belonging.
Furality Inc. is a Florida-based 501c3 nonprofit public charity, and it's our goal to support the VR furry community. Your registration not only helps Furality, it also allows us to continue to bring you unique and diverse experiences while helping
The
those
one
in
in the
a tough
back
spot
wave.
to be able to attend our conventions. For those that are experiencing financial hardships, we offered our financial hardship program where we were able to issue vouchers to those who would otherwise be unable to attend. We would like to thank our first class and sponsor tier attendees who made it possible for us to continue to offer this program. We want everyone who would like to attend Furality Silva to join us for this exciting convention. Aloha!
This place would not be possible without the continued support from you, our generous community. It takes resources of all kinds to build a place as special as Silva, and what we do here is pretty unique. We have no fewer expenses than physical conventions. The licensing and infrastructure alone is a six-figure ordeal. Furality Online Experience requires
Bro.
significant funding to pull off well. Though we did not ask for much originally, times were different back then. We could have never anticipated what things would look like now. This event marks our 3-year anniversary as an organization, and we've learned a lot along the way. Back when we first started Furality, the pandemic had most of us stuck at home, many of us getting our first VR headsets. But things have since moved on in the world. We know
Thanks for
that it
liking the
often
stream,
seems
Sir
like a
Fertzlall.
scramble for us, and that's because it is. Additional time between events lets us focus on creating immersive and engaging experiences. But it's hard to deliver without enough funding for a full-time, dedicated team to support every aspect of our events. There are so many really cool things we've had to cut from every event over the years. And my goal is to say yes instead of maybe next time, a lot more. We've by no means exhausted what we are capable of. But first, we need to make sure we can properly support what is already expected of us. The expectations of our organization are very high for being a group of furries working from our bedrooms. Many have compared us and our work to AAA game studios, which is flattering, but also a very high bar. We want to make our attendees and community happy, and I am hopeful this weekend shows our commitment to that. It's been a struggle, but it's been rewarding, and I'm appreciative of all the sacrifices made over the years to ensure Furality Online experience is possible. I'm very proud of Furality Silva. It's a compelling theme with beautiful worlds that are well decorated and cozy. To accomplish this has required us to make significantly more assets than we've ever made before. I hope each and every one of you has a fantastic weekend full of fun. Please enjoy what is here and imagine what more we could bring to Furality Online experience. I know I do all the time. To talk more about our Patreon campaign, we have a video from Conrad Husky.
Hello everyone! I hope you're having a fantastic time so far. My name is Conrad Husky and I'm the community manager for the Furality creative team. I'd like to take a moment right now to talk about our Patreon campaign. First off, I'd like to thank all of our amazing supporters out there. Your contributions to our 501c3 nonprofit organization are what helps us to push the boundaries of what's possible with VR and make these unforgettable events come to life. As a supporter, you get access to behind-the-scenes content, exclusive live streams and meetups, avatar assets, and more. I'd also like to thank our generous Orange Tier supporters. As a special thanks, we will be hosting supporter meetups during this convention. Be sure to have your Patreon account linked in the Fox portal and check the schedule to select a meetup time that you'd like to attend. You'll get the opportunity to meet your fellow supporters, members of the Furality team, and even Finn. If you're interested in becoming a supporter today, you can visit patreon.com/Furality for further details.
Hey, I was there.
Thank you all once again for your support, and have a fantastic time here at Furality Silva.
Thanks for liking the stream, Raspberry the Husky.
Again, a big thank you to our Patreon supporters. We appreciate you so very much. Since Furality Aqua, we've added 100 new team members,
Thanks
and we
for
now
liking
sit
the
at
stream,
over
Raspberry the
200
Husky.
people across the world. Without our talented and hardworking staff, Furality Online experience would not be what you have known to come today. It's difficult to adequately express my gratitude for the team for their contributions
Thanks for
to
liking
Furality.
the stream, Raspberry the
You
Husky.
tell. We have talented volunteers running our streams, making videos, taking photos, coordinating events, managing our Discord, and a whole lot more.
Thanks
If
for
you
liking
see a
the
member
stream,
of our team
Raspberry
this
the
weekend,
Husky.
thank them. Let them know how much you appreciate their hard work to make Furality Silva possible. Thank you again to the entire Furality team. I am so excited and so proud of what we've built. And now, I'd like to turn things over to Biscuit to talk about our charity and share our safety video.
Hello, Furality. It's good to see y'all again. This year, Furality will be supporting Equality Florida Institute Incorporated. They are a Florida-based 501c3 nonprofit public charity. They focus on education and information regarding the LGBTQ community. It is the largest civil rights organization dedicated to securing full equality for Florida's lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. Through their grassroots organizing, education, and coalition building, they are working to inspire change throughout Florida so that no one suffers harassment or discrimination on the basis of their sexual orientation or gender identity. EQFL provides leadership training, volunteer opportunities, and sponsorship opportunities to engage and grow the LGBT and straight ally community involved in this fight. We encourage all of our attendees to help support from $1 to $100. All contributions make a difference and helps out all of our LGBTQ community, which, according to First Science, makes up 80% of the furry fandom. If you want to learn more, please check out Furality.org/charity.
Only 30%.
All right.
Whenever one travels away from home for too long, a bit of precaution is in order. One can never be too careful around strangers. You never know what might come up. Sometimes when you're taking a trip for yourself, you like to be alone with your thoughts. An airport is not the place for that. Thankfully, I can keep the general riffraff to a minimum. It's too busy here anyways.
Welcome, and please enjoy the Aqua Spa and Resort. Remember, no food in the spas.
Of course, even after only getting halfway to your destination, you should take time for yourself. That doesn't stop some undesirables on your journey from ruining the fun.
Yeah.
I could just mute or remove them from view, but I think getting rid of them forever is the better choice. Ah, Silva. I made it. It is so beautiful here. It could get a little loud at times, though. I'm sure I packed a good pair of earmuffs for the trip.
Oh yeah, the earmuff feature. It's pretty cool.
Now to sit back, relax, and keep my feathers dry.
Is this you? Are you struggling with the website? Unable to find your way around the registration process? Or worse yet, completely lost on getting into the instances you want? You may be suffering from IDU TFW, or IDIFT, also known as I don't understand the Furality website. Seriously? This is what we're going with? Alright. If you or a loved one suffer from IDUTIFE, not to worry, there is a cure. And it's found through education. Allow me to be your humble guide through the new Silva Fox portal. We'll start off with the Explore page. Here, you'll find a variety of activities and instances for you to check out. The Games section will allow you to see a bunch of different game worlds that any attendee can join at any time. The Events section will bring you to a schedule of ongoing or upcoming events. If you see one that you're interested in, you can click the Auto Join button, which will invite you to the first available instance. Or you can choose to join a specific instance once the event has opened. To join an instance, click on the event you wish to travel to. At the top, you'll have the option to quick join the first available open instance. Down below, you can choose a specific instance to travel to. You can even see the number of people in every instance, including seeing where your friends are. The Lobby section will bring you to the center of Silva, a hangout space for many attendees to gather, talk, and just hang out. Next up is Club Fin. Get ready to shake your tails and show your moves in this non-stop dance party at Silva, featuring incredible DJs and music artists all weekend. Here, we have the Dealer's Den, your local virtual shop to see all kinds of booths filled with talented individuals with services for sale. Lastly, we have the Meetup section. These are spaces created to allow those with common interests to gather and celebrate their shared subjects. Now, let's move on to the top of the Fox portal. Here you'll find the schedule, your profile, your party, and your friends. The schedule. The schedule tab displays the full list of what Furality Silva offers, as well as tracks what times each activity happens. By clicking on the activities box, you will be
I just saw Azule's 3 videos up.
of each event. Next is the My Profile tab. Here you can see your Furality Silva profile, your badge status, additional vouchers, and all the available assets that come with the tier of registration you've chosen. Here, you can create a party, or join a party. You can only be in a single party at a time. If you create a party, you'll be the party leader. The leader can request invites to new places for everyone in the party with a single click. The leader will receive a party code to give to their friends. To join a party, you will need the party code given by the leader. Enter the code and then wait
Thanks
for
for
the party
liking the
leader
stream,
to
Funky
approve
Chicken.
and add you to the party.
Thanks for the
Once
follow,
you join
Funky
the
Chicken.
party, you can invite yourself to any of the the party and rejoin at any time as long as there is an open slot. Lastly, we have the Friends tab. This is where you can find any friends on your VRChat friends list that are currently in any of the Furality Silva worlds. However, to get this feature available, you need to add the Furality VRChat Friends ID's web browser extension from Chrome and Firefox. To add your VRChat Friend ID's extension, click on the Learn More button
Thanks
on the
for
page.
liking the stream, Funky Chicken.
A guide will appear and walk you through how to add this extension. If you are unsure of something or need further assistance, please contact Attendee Services in the Furality Discord server. Link. This concludes our overview of the Fox portal. Now get out there, explore, and have a great weekend of Furality Silva. Education complete.
Thanks for liking the stream, Funky Chicken.
Again, thank you everyone for your continued support of Furality Online Experience. We've got something for everyone here. From live performances to educational content, even a live fitness workout.
Thanks for liking the stream, Funky
On
Chicken.
behalf of myself and everyone on the team, I proudly welcome you to Furality Silva.
I don't think you can tell Finn never talks.
Thanks for liking the stream, Funky Chicken. Thanks for liking the stream, Funky Chicken. Thanks for liking the stream, Funky Chicken. Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for the follow, Fluffy ASAP. Thanks for liking the stream, Funky Chicken.
Just join him. This is the open. Just finish it.
But you like he was a robot, but someone was controlling the AI.
Yeah, it literally ended seconds ago.
Yeah, you should have watched it on the stream. Oh my god.
Calm down. You gotta
Yeah, they didn't add everyone.
Choke you. Yeah, sorry. Hey, to be honest, it is just information about like what you have to do. That's it.
Hey man, are you the Nine Tails?
I may or may not have spent most of that time just googling how to fit my
No,
to my
I don't.
head because I'm so tired of this.
I don't have nine tails.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm wearing it too tight, apparently.
Oh my god. You're fucking with me. You're way.
No, look.
Good sound.
It's beautiful effect. Saying thank you. A lot of time is like thank you very much, return and stuff. And after that, it's just showing you up. Showing you what to do.
I'm curious. Can you get in that basket? I want to get in the basket.
Alright, so I guess.
Okay.
You like love foxes.
Okay, let me see. I look at the schedule. Oops, bad gateway in the website. Let's refresh. My glasses on so I can see the better for you to check. Oh, yeah, I want to go to that one. I've already got an invite. Let me check. No, I did not. Oh.
What's the plan, help?
This is a session about creating. Oh, shoot, am I going to the same damn place? How could have stayed here? Stayed there.
I'm gonna go front
Hey, we can lay on the floor again. You can lay.
adjust the volume.
You can lay on the floor so I can like use you as. Why do you have to be different in the what? Huh? They are cheese. There's too much going on.
The session's probably running late.
Well, got a couple minutes apparently, so I'm going to start the oven.
We'll catch him. Uh-oh.
What about it? Hey, Jesus Christ. The ghost face? Hi, kid. Hi, kid. This is stupid.
Yeah. It's interesting because I've got a lot of friends or fellow creators, and they don't upload their IDs, so I can't find them.
You're all having a fantastic time? Today, I'd like to start you all off with a story. Now, imagine a world where you're no longer limited by the constraints of physical travel, where your very presence is transported to a world unseen. Finally, seeing your lovely friends in person, exploring places you've only dreamed of. A bridge connecting with people from all corners of the globe. Sound familiar? And so, you delve into this new program in your hands, called VR Chat. And as you step into the virtual realm for the first time, a wave of awe washes over you, and you can't help but be swept away by the amazing people and places around you. But then, time passes, and a subtle shift occurs. And you can't ignore the nagging feeling that something is off. Something is missing. And turns out, after the beginning period, many of these virtual realms, these supposed gateways to enchantment, fall short. Suddenly, things don't feel right. Beautiful areas destroyed with loud music, nary a sound, hangout places floating weirdly out of place, awesome beginnings immediately lagging suddenly the moment you step outside, and finally, the worst thing that you see when you load in, mirrors. Now, imagine the disappointment that I feel, that you feel when you go in, promised something extraordinary, seeing that picture and description, only to have it fall flat.
Okay, you're inside my bubble now.
Now, we all have been there, right? It's a feeling we'd pick up every now and then as we travel more and more. Now, I've been a VR chat user since late 2017, and I've been noticing all these differences, all these keys, all these missing traits. And I was wondering, how can I change this? Now, being in my job, it's kind of a curse to always notice these things. But what if I give you the keys, the secret spice to making jaw-dropping, enthralling, better worlds? Secrets known by people behind closed doors. Would you love to make one of these amazing worlds? Do you want it? Do you really want it?
I want it.
Hello guys, I'm Wishdream. I'm a professional 3D games artist currently working on Fetch the Ferret by Akritas, this cute little pink ferret up there. And I'm a longtime 3D games artist, often a senior, releasing 3 AAA games, possibly a well-known, critically acclaimed MMO, and also a masterclass of how not to release a widely well-known shooter franchise. My name is Wishdream, and welcome to Building Better Worlds, Better VR Chat Worlds, a beginner's guide. Hopefully you've done a basic tutorial on world building, and if not, that's fine too. I'm here to establish an idea to you, a direction
where your world could go. Now, what I'm going to give you are concepts that will set your world to an even better standard. That this is not going to the nitty-gritty of Unity, but conceptually. Anything that you do will improve your world in general. If anything, we're gonna make fun of Unity, so stay tuned. It's gonna be fun. Now get your cameras going. Make sure that you have your camera out because you'd want pictures of this. We're going to cover a lot. You guys already saw it, but I'd like to start with the most important thing. Now this is usually the best secret spice to making an amazing place. Now that in every game that when you go into a new place, this just makes you go, wow, that's amazing. And usually you'd ask, is it the details? No. Is it the beauty? No. Or somewhat. Level design? Very close. And let me tell you that everything what you're going to make in a VR chat world is going to revolve on its composition. They go hand in hand with level design. It kind of relies on it if you want to make things look really beautiful. Now, even the most basic world can look amazing by just learning these basics. Now, how do we go on doing it, Manster? Well, there's two questions I'd like to ask. What do you want to say, and how you're going to say it? So let's start with, what do you want to say? Let's rephrase this a bit. What is the purpose of your world? Now, usually everyone knows this, right? You know, it could be a hangout, a game, a story, something chill, a little bar, a club. But once you've got that through, you're going to choke on this next one. And this is a very important question to ask yourself with this. And what? If you really want to stand out, what else? Describe it to me. What's the theme? What makes it unique? What makes your place different? It's gotta be a strong one. You gotta sell me the idea. You know, it could be a theme, it could be a function, it could be a focus. Or, like if you just want to stay really simple, how are you gonna exemplify these little the little themes that you have in your world, right? So instead of like showing you slides after slides, I think it's better to show you examples instead because it makes it stick so much better in people's head that way. So here is an example. This is Plant by Wispy Woo. And as you've already noticed, this is a hangout area. It's a chill area. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. The thing that stands out is that it's a jungle theme, right? It's like a simple theme attached on to a nice little world. But there could be more. Here's another one. This is Underground City by Lunar Eclipse. And to describe you, it's really strange because it's a really, really long elevator ride that leads with a payoff being highly worth it, right? But, okay, so how about we go with something more simpler, right? This is Alright Island by Passy Stardust. A simple black and white world. Made completely in Unity, something with, like Pro Builder. But there's a catch. There's a story and a feeling of dread. It's up to you to find out the memories behind it. See? Even the simplest of worlds could stand out with a little bit more thought in it. Just think about it. Fine, I get what you're saying. How about a really, really simple idea? Okay? Just one bed. A single bed.
I feel that.
So, bed. Bread. Right? So it makes it very simple and very easy. Now that you have an idea,
Lucas
let's go make
Vega
it.
said,
And this leads on
Hi.
to the next question.
No.
Right? You probably have thought of the basic layout for your place already, but what could make it better? What if we skyrocket the appeal of it? This leads us to the second question. How are you going to say it? Now, you probably heard of this before, the rule of thirds, framing, Fibonacci sequence, the triangle, pyramid, I forgot what they're called. But what are they? Well, they're composition tools. They all, in their core, have three very important concepts. Remember this well, because it's a surprise tool that can help you later. So, let me present Kagaba. And there are three very notable, very easy to remember words. We got compare the milk, we got gimme the milk, and we got boy, I need some space. Milk.
Lucas Vega said.
Now,
NVM.
What? Oh. Okay. Okay. What do we see here? So, let's break this down, this picture a little bit, right? The first thing I see, right off the bat that I see over here is shapes. How everything else is so smooth, yet the center is so detailed. Now another is how dark the centerpiece is compared to the rest. And as well as how the colors are different, how cool the center is, while a good chunk of the piece is so warm. And this is because the first thing that we're going to talk about is contrast. And there's three different ways that you do contrast. There could be more, but this is the most simplest one that I could dissect out of.
Mm-hmm.
First is colors, shapes, and values. Values as in the amount of light you give a certain point. So let's stick with a familiar one. How about one from Puss in Boots? Just by Nathan Fox. And if you notice, immediately how dark everything is, but everything important is how light. As well as how cool everything is, except for the ones that's important. Right? And here's another example. Is that if you notice the colors between the little building on the bottom right compared to everything else, and then if you notice, there's the shapes as well. It is sharp on the edges compared to the main building, which is round, right? And as well as you notice how it goes into the background, the darker it is, or rather, how faded it is. And speaking of which, aside from contrast, another good thing is to lead the eye. You'd want to lead them to a certain place. Just make people intuitively explore. And with that, we can use guides. Now, it has two important things: your focus point and your guiding lines. Now, this all should look familiar. Right now, the room is quite unfocused, aside from the center. It looks nice, but what if we change one thing? Boom. Oh. Boom. He's sliding towards your screen, telling to look at me, right? Suddenly the room guides you towards Jamiroquai, which is the person in here, that is almost hard to ignore, right? But on a more serious note, how about we take a look at my own recent works? Notice how I'm guiding your eyes here. I'm using the lights, the trails, the cubes above, a direction guiding you towards the center, while using the shine as a focus point. Everything steering clear of the lake, yet enough to turn it to a focal point. How about this one? The mountain is immediately towering. It's like an immediately towering focus point, helped by the sunshine. my character looking vaguely at the direction, leading the eyes more to the mountain. Small hills going up, noisy enough to clear out the mountains being a better focal point. Even the ground I'm stepping on just leads to the mountain right there. Now, pay attention to what I just said, because we're leading on to the next one. You know how I used noise to make you pay attention less with trees? And this is where balance comes in. It comes in 3 parts. Negative space, which is basically air in between everything. Noise, and symmetry. Okay, so how about we look at some in-game screenshots of the critically acclaimed MMO Final Fantasy XIV. This is Gridania. Pay attention to the center, and notice how close the symmetry and the symmetry has on this center, that this is a safe space. The more symmetry you have, the more safe it feels. But the more symmetry you also go, the more orderly it feels. So in this case, we have an equal balance of symmetry and asymmetry. And if you notice the roads outside, these are the dead space to help the focus point on the center. And the detail or noise only comes in to help focus the center. And the same with the background. A nice technique to make multiple focal points work is that you could also use noise to blot out everything else, but also at the same time make it a focus point if you go there instead. Another one is Idleshire. The lines leading up to the sky to make space, allowing you to breathe. Detail only where the important stuff are. And the symmetry only comes inside of Idleshire, because outside is a hostile area. Now, do you see how each of these parts help? We call this elements of composition. And this is just the start of it. But instead of expanding upon this more, we got a talk about that last year, I want to reel back to where we were. Gugaba. Compare the milk, gimme the milk, and boy, I need some space. Milk. AKA contrast, guides, and balance. Where contrast gives you attention by differentiating things, guides lead the eyes, and balance to give space for people to breathe or give people either a sense of order or chaos. How about we go and give you a very iconic piece if you played recently one of the Nintendo games. We got Breath of the Wild. Now, take a look at the picture real quick, okay? Already you could see how the color immediately changes the farther it is. The one in Ganon's castle over and to the left, already dark, knowing that that's a place where things are hostile, and where you are is safe, giving a bunch of green. Also, if you notice, the starting area is more rounded compared to the spiky background. And not only that, immediately the moment Link goes up to the hill, it points you directly towards Ganon's castle. These 3 things, contrast, guides, and balance, give such a powerful impact of not only where to go, but also a sense of space, a sense of awe. Now, how about we get something here in VR chat? Here is the Reservoirs game room, which is made by Wispy Woo, and immediately they're already using the stairs going downwards towards the game area, the game table, but also taking advantage that in between the 2 area, the entrance and the game table, there's also a divergence, again leading your eyes to another spot of the area. could use that. And again, if you notice, everything in the background is a little bit noisy, but yet the ones where you want to focus is a lot more cleaner as well. And this same goes with the colors. The areas where it's most important is much more lighter than everything else. Okay, so how about if your world has multiple focus points? This is Olympia. It has multiple focus points, using balance and contrast to differentiate everything expertly. Even the shapes are drastically different to tell one from another. Now, while composition is good and all, did you ever notice something missing? Let me reiterate on the slide first before we continue, because I do want to tell you one certain specific detail. That with composition, it makes much more nicer and easier to make photogenic things, but also if you do the opposite of what I just said, it could give you a sense of being lost, overloaded, just being unsettled. But now, I want to iterate something that is missing. And this is what is the most silent, or rather the most loudest, if they are missing. And it's one of the most important things in games, and the first thing you notice, especially in VR. And this is immersion. The missing layer. The thing that finally makes your mind leap into another reality. So, let's try one now. How about we slow down and listen? I want you guys to just look around a bit. Do you notice any sounds? If you're in the panel area, it's most likely much more quieter. And with everywhere else, you'll probably notice that the sounds are there. You just don't notice it. But what if we just mute it, right? Suddenly it feels off. Like suddenly, this doesn't feel like a living place. So, what if we make it a little bit louder? So over here at the sound area, I have two little fantastic things. These are the two types of sounds that you'd want to take note of. This is static sounds, or ambient sound. Now we get to hear a much more better feel of the surroundings. If you look around, suddenly the feels suddenly feel more alive. And so are the birds. Like it feels like you're being enveloped in this environment. You're actually there. And how about this one right next to me? We call this static sounds. These are sounds that comes from objects that are, it could be anything. This bird is a good example of that. A good directional one. Well, it doesn't have to be directional if you're in a forest, though. But this is a good example. Speaking of which, back here over at the center, these are the two different types of sounds that you should pay attention to. And we got ambient sounds, which is no source, and also sound effects, which is positional. Let me just turn off this wind here. Oh. Did that suddenly feel wrong? Like suddenly a lot of things got quieter, right? That's the power of sound. Now, ambient sounds usually has a couple of things. So you got your static sounds. This is the one that we played a while ago. This could be wind. This could be trees in the forest. Could be the sea in an island, or diegetic sound. sounds, which is sound effects that only play in your head. And we got also sound effects. This could be car horns, doors, impact sounds, buttons, dynamic sounds.
It's my paper, and it's because I put it on your.
How do we implement this? Well, to implement this in your world, the only thing you need to do is when you test out your world, turn off all the sounds. Like, if you have a video player, turn it off and listen. If there's anything missing, add to it. And besides, sound has a very great way to give your mind, like, a little more immersion to the world. And I do notice that if we have sounds in a world, did you guys notice that your phantom touch, your ability to feel things in a world, gets strengthened? We'll talk about that in a little bit later, but I would like to go to the next part, which is, wouldn't it be nice if there's another sense of feeling being there? Something very prominently shown around Furality. And that is backgrounds. Oh yeah, you guys might want to take pictures of this because these are these are worlds in VR chat where you could check how to apply sound. Anyway. Backgrounds. Now, if you notice, reality is kind of weird without depth. And most of the time, a lot of people use skyboxes. Right away, I want to reiterate that skyboxes are not backgrounds. Skyboxes only work if they are very distant. And backgrounds are usually the ones behind the main area. Right? These are the things that you can't explore, but you could move close to. They give a sense of depth. They get a sense of reality. So how do we make them? You know, I'm lazy, you're lazy, so I'll make it very easy to you. Cheat. As Ezio says, or not Ezio, rather, the Assassin's Creed promise, I think what it's called, nothing is true, everything is permitted. Like, use every scummy trick in the book. And I'm going to teach you guys right now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it in fast. Here's what I'm going to do when I make backgrounds. First, I create a sight line to make sure that the background blends with the foreground. I abstract detail, meaning, like, you could use low poly models, you could use pieces
Thanks
of
for
paper
liking the stream,
projected on a
Kiki.
plane. Or, like, for example, down on the center, you see this stack of paper? We literally just took a photo of a magazine, scrumpled it up, and then just placed it down there. Another thing that could be very useful is pictures from far away. Because, like, you have no idea how very convincing this is. Like, in Final Fantasy XIV, we use this extensively. Like, even the mountains are sometimes just pictures, right? So, for example, here in Ace Combat 7, if they could use to you a JPEG dog right in front of you in a cutscene, you have no excuse to not use pictures. Okay? Another thing is that you could use particles to fake the massive amount of trees in your background, for example. Or cities, you could use cities. And it's okay to just slap on a picture of a building onto a cube or anything. Like, look at this. This one's on Blender by Ian Hubert. They just literally took a photo of a city skyline and then just projected the entire thing onto a cube. And lastly, use all of your resources. Like, build your asset library. Like, download a lot of free models, and be sure to check out, like, the poly count of them, but download a lot. They will make your world building faster. And if you have a high skyrise tower and you're not using Google Maps as the floor, then you're doing something wrong, right? Like, Google Maps is relatively low poly. It's much more easier to render that. But rather, and this one is actually OpenStreetMaps. I'd rather prefer doing that because it's much more easier. But anyway. Here's an example of what I would do.
Thanks for the follow, Gene.
In my world. So let's say my world is this little shop over here. It's a cute little shop. So first of all, I'm going to get rid of that skybox. Then I'm going to add a picture of a concrete road or just concrete in general, and I would add boxes that would have fence textures on them. Next, I would add a picture of a road with a sidewalk on it. It's convincing enough. You don't have to go there. Also, pictures of trees in the background as well. They're just pictures. They're not 3D models, but they look convincing enough, right? And then I add buildings with slapped-on textures of the side of a building, one in the front, one in the back. And also on the side, I added like another fenced shop. Use backgrounds to help storytelling and not just making it there to feel depth, because it creates so much environment and so much feeling that sometimes I think people just don't utilize this. And one more thing, this is not needed to be said, and something I noticed that somehow we lack a lot of. You know, being in a VR medium, we don't use this enough. And this is feedback. We could fake our touch. You don't have to have like actual finger touching, right? And our monkey brain really likes this. And a good items, for example, is ASMR items. Like if you've gone to ASMR World, these are really good examples for it. Even fidget toys. Anything that's interactable. And I want to show you over, guys, to the right side over here, where all my interactive items are. And here's a couple of examples you could do inside your world. Like, it is as simple as having buttons, obviously. And here in VR chat, like I know that a lot of people don't have any technical skill. So we have 3 types of buttons, and I'm pretty sure you could make the second one. So the first one is just a simple VRC button. I could just press from far away, and I could click this. On the second, when I put my hand and touch the thing, it creates a sound and immediately presses the button. It makes it much satisfying. However, if you're advanced enough, you also have a single button over here that is tactile. Like, I think a lot of people don't see this from the outside. I just realized maybe in the wrong layer, but you could tell from what I'm describing is that it's tactile. It's like a keyboard. So if I push slow and then halfway, it clicks, and it's very fun to do so. I don't know if anyone would hear that outside, but it's a fantastic little thing that makes our monkey brain go wild. We even have doors that just works. Like, this is easy for desktop users because they could click and automatically opens the doors, but for VR users, they could just physically open it and then close it. Like so. It's always very fun. And one more thing, another is you could use it by exemplifying weight. Now with weight, you could do a sword, right? Like this is a very light sword, just a short sword. It's very easy to move around with. But what if it's much more heavier? Like this one. Suddenly I could move this with my single hand. It's a lot more heavier. And now it feels like I have to hold it with 2 hands, because like the more I move it, the more slower it goes. So therefore it has this feeling of being very heavy. Like I can't even move fast. Like My body just wants to move slower because it feels slower. And it's kind of strange, right? Our brains just fill in the blanks here. And you could do a lot with just interactions. Like, you could do as simple as like something like a button that could make a simple button press, or maybe a comb with a brushing sound. It's all very nice to have. And if you notice, if we make use of interactions more, the more our phantom touch also increases. I'll go back to the center over here. Okay. And here's some free prefabs that you could apply any of these interactive items in your worlds. But here's the thing. The more senses you cover, the more you get immersed. This includes sound, which covers sound, obviously, your hearing, backgrounds, which cover your visuals, and feedback, which covers your fake touch. And then later, for more sensitive people, the more you stack that, suddenly they feel the weather around them. Suddenly it gets hotter or colder, or maybe the breeze. You could start feeling it. And this is why you need these in the world, because like if they're gone from a world, suddenly it feels like you're just playing a mere video game with just something missing. It's like playing Breath of the Wild again or GTA, and you could just feel the environment around you, right? Like if you notice, there's sounds everywhere. There's feedback on everything you do, and there's backgrounds everywhere. And to make it short, when you go into a world and everything feels just right, you know that you've done your job. Now, I'm going to cover the next one in a little bit more rapid pace, because we're actually starting to run out of time a little bit here. Now, consider this. Everything I just gave you is going to be useless, okay? If we don't consider, and I think this is the bane of big existence in VR chat, performance, right? Your GPU will thank you if you take note of this. And especially your PC, it won't be crashing and things will feel a lot better in the long run. So, let me introduce you to Unity's stats bar under the game tab. This is your new friend, the stats window. And all you need to know that anything that's highlighted in red, number go down equals good. Okay? You don't want that to go high. Because if those numbers are higher, expect to lag. Like, keep it like at least under 1,000 or 2,000. I don't really know a good number, but I usually go underneath 1,000 for my worlds here. And and the first step to making this work is that you just need to stop having mirrors active on load. I know this is like a trouble point to everyone. Like this, by having mirrors active, even before you load, you're already expending GPU resources before anyone could even see your world. Please. Every time you have a mirror on, the number on this thing doubles. It doubles. Alright, I want to talk to you guys about the simplest thing that you could do with your world. And this is everywhere in the game dev industry, and this is the poly budget. We usually have a budget, a limit to the number of triangles we have on screen every single time, and this is also per model and also on per screen. Do not be this guy. Like in Yandere Simulator, they have a massive 5,000 pieces for a single toothbrush. Please don't be like that. This is not an advertising commercial. Now, you could use this poly budget as a stylistic choice as well. If you've seen like PS1 worlds and low poly worlds, this is a good use of that. And remember, just like back in the NES days, the SNES days, limitation breeds creativity. And this is the reason why we have a budget in the first place. Not just because, of course, funds, not just because of course, optimization, but also we use it as a creative limitation. Even though it's like kind of moot nowadays, but this is especially applicable for anything related to VR, because our GPUs are not twice as powerful as a 4090 times 2. Okay? Your graphics card's not going to be powerful, even if you like have the best graphics in the world. VR isn't going to be realistic. Not yet. We will get there. Here's a good example. This is a silhouette of two grasses, one of which is low poly and high poly. Pay attention to the silhouette because the silhouette matters more than you think. This is the thing that creates the shape of the object that you want. Which one is the low poly one? The left or the right? What do you guys think? If you say the left, then you're absolutely correct. That's the high poly. Hey, look at this. The right is just a picture of grass, like bushes stacked on top of each other. Use that instead of this. Like, I feel that in VR, people will give the benefit of the doubt once you get the bigger picture. Okay? No one's gonna notice if the silhouette remains the same. This especially applies to something like bolts and nuts. You don't need a 3D modeled bolt if it's gonna be flat on a piece of mechanical item. You could bake these details in. For example, for this gun over here on the bottom, you notice that that's not actually 3D modeled in. It's all just flat. But normal maps could give you the illusion of depth. Another one, this is the most important ones. If you already like know all of these stuff before, these are the most important ones and very unique to Unity. And this is the first step that you need to do is mesh combining. This merges basically meshes into one. There's the tool up there. You could have it. And this reduces the amount of draw calls on the same material. Now, they're usually I need to talk about occlusion a little bit here, because occlusion will hide the object from view, therefore will not draw it. So you'd want them to be optimized in such a way where you are optimally hiding and showing which ones are available. So in this case, when you mesh combine something, it will be visible together. And this is very much nice for anything that's unique and stationary. These are, for example, like large levels, like one part of a large level. Now, notice the wording here, one part of the large level. Because if you have one level, the entire level in a single mesh, what's likely going to happen is that you're going to tax people's GPUs. And you don't want that. So what you want to do is static batching. This is literally just a checkbox for static on Unity. And it does the same thing, except the difference is that it hides each section that you have from mesh combining individually instead of together. So like, example, if you have a large level and you could hide one part from another. Next one is GPU instancing. This draws all objects in one go. This it has to be the same mesh and material. So a good use for this is like benches, chairs, street lamps, and crates, barrels, repeating foliage like trees and grass. And it's as simple as
Thanks
checking
for the
that
follow,
checkbox
BMX
for
Bike.
enable GPU instancing or any Unity shader that supports it. And now, if you notice, a lot of these
Thanks for the follow,
have
Terrific.
a limitation called having the same material. And this is what we're going to do to make them all have the same material. It's called texture atlasing. It combines textures into one. It basically just puts all the parts together into one material. And it reduces the number of materials used. So your GPU could draw it all in one go. And it only works if the materials are not tiled. In this case, like for example, a road is tiled because like you have like sections of a road that repeats over and over, or maybe a wall. You can't use that. In that case, you might want to look into another section entirely, which I can't go in depth, called trim sheets. Now another is occlusion culling. This is the one I was telling a while ago. And it basically hides objects unseen, especially if you're, let's say, behind a wall. This is very useful if you're inside a house, for example, right? It hides everything out of your field of view. For example, here, like if my camera is, okay, if your camera is on the wall, and if I move slightly to the right, suddenly Germa appears. Pretty great. And in Unity, you could use that by going to under Tools, Rendering, and Occlusion Culling. I wish I could go in depth on this because there's a lot more to talk about, but you have to look it up for yourself as well. And another one, say you're outside, another better technique is called Level Up Detail. This decreases the quality over distance. It makes like anything high poly up close to low poly in the distance. This is very useful for trees, for example, or cities, or grass. And there's a tool called Auto LOD if you do not know how to 3D model. And here's a good example of this. Like my own model has an LOD, right? LOD 0, it's the high quality model. LOD 1, I'm already far enough that you won't be noticing those details that it's already low poly. But in LOD 2, I'm already a dot. Do you think anyone needs to see a detail like that? But you didn't know that my LOD 2 is replaced with an intercontinental ballistic missile again. It's just a little picture. Now, we're gonna wrap this up. Simple. You could just take a picture of this. Oh, you could take a picture of this, but I really can't say much more. Bake your lights. Do not use dynamic lighting because it triples exponentially your render calls, and you don't want that in a world. And don't use too high resolution with texture because if everyone's VRAM is going to be filled, they won't be able to render anything else anymore, including their own avatars, which will result to a crash. And remember, stats is your friend. Monitor it diligently. And if you want to do more about textures, please check out Where'd My Frames Go? Avatar Performance in VR Chat by Tupper. Okay, to bring it all back, we have KGB, which is composition, your contrast, guide, and balance. You got your immersion, your audio background and feedback, and as well performance, which is just monitoring your stats.
So how do I set the reset button?
Oh, where was I? Let me just, over here? Okay, cool. Now, in conclusion, I really want you guys to take note of these because these are very important. And they are a blend of lovely spices that makes these wonderful worlds. And now that you know this, you can create worlds, perhaps beyond the ordinary, or heck, even the best ordinary world you can make.
Oh, he was wrapping up.
That so much so, I want you guys to make a world with just nothing but cubes and Unity terrain. This is what I did with my new world, Ecostasis Quadra. And if you want to take on this challenge, just have hashtag WishTubeChallenge on Twitter. And I can guarantee you, with everything I just taught you right now, you will make one heck of a lovely world. And with that said, let the magic happen, create those amazing worlds, and thank you. For Q&A, just get on Discord. I'll be answering all of your questions there since we don't have time. And all of these, take a photo of this because these are all resources that are very useful to getting to know making worlds in general, and as well as sample worlds that you could visit from my friends and everyone else. And if you guys want to talk with me more in depth, I'll be in the Game Developers Meetup or right after this talk in another instance. And if you want more of about world immersion, I do have a talk back in Furality Aqua, and you could check that out too. Thank you.
Oh, that has to be on the same thing.
Okie dokie.
Alright, guess that's either that. So let's check the time here. Let's look at the ceiling for a minute. Home game show, Def Confers, Mocha Gores. There's some music coming up. Online/Twitch streamer meetup. Funny meetup. Still.
Your kind are so embarrassing. This is why no one ever support you.
Alright, so it looks like one of these sessions I'm really interested in the near future. Wow.
The anime lover said, "Hi, waving hand."
Hi, anime lover. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I just watched a session. I guess he's like a game developer, and he developed a lot of places for like Final Fantasy XIV, which is pretty cool. Obviously, he knows what he's talking about. But I think I'm going to take a break for now, and then maybe I'll go back online later. Alright, so be sure to...
The anime lover said, "How are you?"
Good. So, looks like Oh yeah, so you're on the YouTube. So okay, cool. Yeah, so make sure to subscribe. You'll get a notification when I go online. And oh, he's still at a. Yeah, I was just watch. Just watch.
I sub. Rue.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So I have text-to-speech running both on my TikTok Live, and I have text-to-speech running on YouTube and on Twitch. So the voices do sound different, but it's kind of nice in VR that I'm able to hear. Of course, you know, sometimes you get some annoying people on, but I think I just blocked one that was on TikTok. So.
I took while nap, so I'm ready for more lol.
Oh, cool. Cool. So I'm gonna take a little break. Probably not a nap, but yeah. So I'll probably be on a little bit later. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'll see you later, Stiletta. And anyone else wants to join me for Furality? Well, for one, be sure to add me as a friend as VR chat. Pretty easy. You can find me, Progressive Geek. And of course, you need to upload your friend IDs to Furality site, or else you won't be able to see me and I won't be able to see you. That's an important step.
Thanks for liking the stream, Staletta Wolf.
Alright, so let's see.
Thanks for liking the stream, Staletta Wolf.
Thanks, Stiletta.
You're welcome. Your help and supper supported however way.
Oh, thank you.
CYA. Peace.
Yeah, take care. And everyone, have a good evening, and I'll see you later.